And I'm an entrepreneur professionally. I'm a research scientist, but I left. So right now I do business. Thank you so much. I hope we are going to have meaningful engagement and learn, and also we are meeting for the first time. Otherwise, karibuni.
Okay, good morning. Maybe those who can see me, I'm Joseph Adede Sheshe from the great county of Siaya. Happy to be here at Siaya County. At least I'm seeing this. So, all I can say that all of you are welcomed.
Morning, everyone. Morning once more. I'm Keto Dongo.
Morning, everyone. Morning again. I'm Ben Odero Chapa from Europe, Kisumu County, and I'm saying Nanyatabiwo. Wabiru Siaya Wachopo.
Morning. I'm Otino Charles.
every one of us into this particular discussion. Like I said, it's going to be a live podcast. That basically means that there are people who are going to be following this conversation online from the YouTube of Sarah House. And even you yourself, as you're here, you're allowed to participate in that conversation online. That anything that you post around this particular activity, you need just to use the hashtag to participate. And maybe if we could just do like one round of saying to participate. So I'll just be saying IRI, and all you do is say to participate, right? It's written here, so you can just read it. IRI? Man, we can do better than that. IRI. Thank you. So that is our primary hashtag, that is to participate. Our hashtag, the next hashtag is the Kenya I Want, and this basically speaks to the kind of discussion that we're going to be having here. And then our last hashtag, which you're also expected to be using in our socials, is Occupy Parties, right? So probably, not probably, we can take our phone. Once you take your phones, you can go to YouTube, and then you can check Sarah House, and then you will find this discussion going on there. So you can like, you can share, you can follow, and you can comment on that. Like I said, this particular discussion is participatory. It is participatory in the sense that it is you guys who are going to be telling Kenya what you want. So it is not going to be a moderator-led discussion. My work will just be to facilitate an easy and smooth discussion, but much of the contributions will come from you guys. And I will not be alone here. I will be I'll be sandwiched amongst some very noble brains from both within and outside of this land. So as soon as I call them to this particular podium, all I'll expect is that we're not going to be clapping. If somebody says something that is very interesting, all I expect you to do is this. Can we give it a try? Yeah, we can just snap. So I'll be inviting my first panelist on the stage, and until I am done, because some of them have very elaborate profiles. So as soon as I am done is when you stop. So you'll start snapping as soon as I start until I am done. So on the stage, I'm going to invite somebody who is a development practitioner, a gender advocate, a mentor, and an agripreneur committed to advancing gender equality and empowering vulnerable communities. This person is inviting in information technology from University of Nairobi, a diploma in gender and development from Maseno University. She serves as the correspondent of the National Gender and Equality Commission and is the Siaya County Gender Lead for Regenerative Agriculture for Young People, project which is being implemented by Practical Action. The founder and the United Gender 041 CBO, which is a community-based organization dedicated to empowering teen mothers and young mothers through capacity building, entrepreneurship, and advocacy. Beyond her development work, she is an active pig and poultry farmer. And I'll pause kidogo. This is one of the biggest pig farmers in this county. Sijamaliza, the profile you said is a bit elaborate. And then she demonstrated passion in agribusiness as a pathway to economic empowerment. She's a sought-after mentor, facilitator, a community mobilizer, and believes in creating opportunities that enable women and young people to realize their full potential. She's driven by integrity, purpose, and conviction that lasting change begins with empowered individuals. Ladies and gentlemen, my first panelist, Sela Migaya. Until she comes. Okay, until she comes, please, we can do it better. The second person I'm inviting, in the interest of gender, the person I'm inviting is a policy expert, a co-founder at Bright Future Kenya organization, a trained budget facilitator. When I also do a book, I will ensure that Mbadi has a space in it. The last panelist, ladies and gentlemen, is a feminist, currently a master's student in public health, strong focus on policy, governance, and strong focus on policy, governance, and reproductive health advocacy. She is passionate about advancing social justice, meaningful work. She also serves as the board of Reproductive Health and Accountability and Response Kenya, supporting accountability and policy advocacy in integrity, and purpose to every space she steps into. As a political enthusiast and a youth engagement facilitator, she believes in transformation, accountability, inclusion, and service. She also champions collective care and wellness and essential components of sustainable leadership. The person I'm about to invite also could be the only one, I believe, who is, of course, probably apart from our chair, who is a chief executive officer of World Soccer Mentorship Program, which is a youth-led organization in Siaya County dedicated to nurturing generation of ethical and transformative African leaders. The person I'm inviting is also the founder of H-Plug Safe Space, her roots organization, initiatives that promote youth leadership safe spaces. She remains committed to building inclusive systems and that enable young people, women, and marginalized communities to lead, thrive, and shape a more just society. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause as I invite the last panelist, Mary Goretti. Until she comes. Good. So, until she comes? Oh. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in into this conversation and helping us to just deliberate on the matter at hand further. As we are help us guide this discussion, and I hope Cecil is around. Yeah, you could give them the mic so that I just hold mine. I don't give it off. Good, thank you. So the discussion we are having today, as we all know, is that we've seen the need for reforms. Everywhere we go, in political spaces, some of us are in the civil society space, some of us are in academic spaces, some of us are even, the global and the continental spaces. And what is really coming out strongly is the quest or the hunger for reforms from young people. If I were just to pose my first question, what is this Kenya that you want? What are you really looking to see in Kenya? I could start probably from Mary.
Okay, thank you so much, moderator. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all good and we're ready for this conversation. The Kenya that I want, I think the Kenya that I want starts from where I'm coming from. Coming from Rarieda sub-county, around the lake, uko pale chini, uko kwa lake. So the Kenya that I want is a Kenya that starts from where I'm coming from, starts from Siaya County. And when you ask me about what is it that I'd really love for the Kenya that I want, first I want accessible roads to farmers, to fisher folks to get to the market. And number two, we have dispensaries in each and every ward that we are in. I'd really love to have accessible universal health care for everyone that is coming from the grassroots level up to top up in Nairobi. So the Kenya that I want, one is accessibility that is in roads, and then number two, universal health care for all. And number three, the Kenya that I want is also starting with leaders who are accountable, leaders who have integrity. I think that's the Kenya that I want.
Thank you so much. If at all, and I want to believe that, so probably we could just do it for her. And to my next panelist, I would ask, Mary has responded to the Kenya she wants, and her concern is that the Kenya she wants, able to pick, is that she's really looking at a Kenya that has accessibility. and accessibility that cuts across. That is infrastructure, accessibility that supports economic growth, particularly of where she comes from. To you, Sela, I would want to know, what is this one problem that you think is affecting Kenya, and particularly Siaya, now that this discussion is being held in Siaya? What is this one problem that you really think that if we solved, then the discussion around Kenya we want would not even be held?
Thank you, Odongo, and good afternoon, everyone. Okay, the problem I see that when it gets solved, we might have the Kenya that I want. The main problem, one, is we Kenyans, the citizens of this country. Why am I saying that? More than enough, we have always been given the opportunity to pick the right leaders for us. If I decide to do the right thing today, and I stick to it, like somebody said, a good thing is never liked by so many people. And when we started this project, we mentioned about us being reformers to lead to the Kenya I want. So when you see Sela doing the right thing and you don't agree to it, and I stick to it sternly, and I be consistent about it, and I change. They say, be you, the flock will adjust. If we decide today that we are going to make change to this country, we know we have identity cards to mean we are Kenyans, and we pick our voters' cards, and we know we want change, and change starts with me. I'll wake up in the morning and vote. That is one. Number two, I will go to the ballot having known that my card is my voice, and my voice is the change I want. I will look at the manifesto of each and every leader that is aspiring to lead this great country. I will identify myself with the change I want to that manifesto, and to see if it resonates with me. And because I want change, I will vote for that change. So until we Kenyans know what we want and do exactly that, then we are going to have the Kenya we want. And just to say that I am so passionate about girl child. I'm more than passionate about the vulnerability around we women. So anything touching on a woman in a positive way is something I want for my country. So the Kenya I want is a change that begins with its citizens. Thank you.
Sela has said something that is very integral. She's mentioned that for her, the greatest problem she feels is that the problem with our country lies in its people. And particularly the kind of people she's mentioned are the people who do not vote, right? People who know what is the right thing to do, but end up not doing it. And question, are we headed in the right direction as a country?
No.
Okay, if no, then what is it that is going on well, and what is it that you would want to see? What is it you're not?
Well, I'll pick from my two colleagues where they have started. One, to me, what is not going well is engaging young people in terms of employment. if you look at the percentage of young people, even if I'll ask how many people are employed, how many people are employed? You'll see a handful of hands. It means the rate of unemployment is very high. So what will I want to see? One is where we have a decent livelihood, and also we have lower cost of living. And by saying this is one, we have a space where young people are able to earn a living and be independent. The number of people who are depending on those who are working, I think even per family, is very high. Like in a family of 7, you find only one person. Families, they're either going to starve or going to look for other means to survive. 2, the Kenya I want is where we have a fair, honest, and effective government. And this I mean, I'll just ask all of us the amount this government is owing in terms of foreign and domestic debt. Yeah? We are also not sure, but we're almost hitting 14 trillion, if I'm not wrong, and our ceiling keeps increasing. The reason why I'm saying a fair, honest, and effective is increasing, but we are not being told how much have we paid in terms of debt. Who knows how much we've paid so far? Nobody. And we are taxpayers. So every time they tell us our debt is increasing, but they don't tell us how much have we paid out of the foreign and domestic debt that we owe. So me, I want to see that since this financial year, up to this financial year, we have paid this amount of money, and this is the amount that we are remaining with. Even in our normal lives, if you have a loan from someone, when you are paying your debt, you have a progress. That this year, I have paid him 100 bob, I am remaining. For our government, it is hard to tell how much we have paid or how much we owe. That is a concern because annually, if you read the reports by the Kenya Revenue Authority, the amount of tax that KRA collects is too much compared to other financial years or other governments. KRA collects much, and right now it is very mandatory for you to file an invoice even as little as 500 shillings. Can the government tell us how much we have paid in terms of debts so that we know? That is the Kenya I want to see.
Yeah, we can. My goodness. Mbadi has spoken about debt accountability and, of course, fair and honest governance. I think that's a very valid point. And this basically shows us that each and every one of us, there's a Kenya that we are actually looking at. There's something that is probably missing, and we are really looking at it. Cindy, looks like there's some mismatch in terms of what is offered versus what we really want. And now, for those that are following this discussion online, of course, we are live on Sarah House, and you can comment. Please use the hashtag to participate. Use the hashtag. You do so, make sure that you tag your friend. If your friend is here, an organization that you're representing is here, tag them, mention them so that this discussion is then escalated even in the social spaces. We will also take your comments, your suggestions, and we will share them with the audience. So I'll throw this question back to the audience, and I would want us to hear and just to listen from the aspirations and the priorities of young people who are here. I will ask you this question at a very personal level. What is this Kenya that you're looking at? What is this Kenya that you're looking for? And what is this Kenya that you're looking up to? So it will be an open discussion. That basically means that the mic will be going round. Cecily? Help. Just come and take it round. So I'd want to have as many contributions as possible from the floor, because I said this discussion is going to be very participatory. So I am expecting that to have everybody speak actually if time allow. So maybe if I could know from this other side, how many would want to share with us the kind of Kenya they're looking at? Yeah, you can give them the mic.
There's no mediocre leaders of mediocrity like the current country that the current leader that we both previously and they currently have. Because when you look at our country, Kenya, the problem we are facing as a common mwananchi is not even from the citizen itself, but is the kind of the leaders we elect. If we elect leaders should be people who always give us good direction. And if they keep on lamenting that the problem is us, we are the common mwananchi, that is a clear indication that even we personally as a citizen of the country, we don't know where the problem is. Why am I saying that the current and previous leaders we'll be having are mediocres? Number one, you'll find that leaders are planting the problems that we are facing, then tomorrow they're the same people who are saying that they want to solve it. When you hear them on the podium, they've been into this country, into the leadership of this country before even I was born. You will hear them talking that shida yetu ni pesa nani ndio aliiba. After given position in now they're in charge of the leadership supremacy in the country, they don't arrest the people who stole money and they don't charge them and they don't. You hear them talking about hooliganism today. But when you hear them talking in the podium, let me say without the fear of contradiction, the last time when Linda Mwananchi were having rally in Kisumu, the so-called MP from Alego Songa Atandi said very well that mbona mnawacha watu wanakuja Kisumu wakirudi wachape. Tomorrow there's a baby who is looking for milk, saying that if I ever find anybody in my car, you will see it. But for him forgetting that is the same person who is plotting problem and now solving it. So if you want a country, a righteousness country, we should first solve the issue of our common mwananchi. Youth are not goons. Youth are not criminals. This is young people who have been denied opportunity to be better people in the community. Mi ukinipatia pesa sahi, unionyeshe this the direction. I will follow the right direction. But you should not give me money to go and attack your opponent. So, they should go to the leaders. Kenyans are not mediocres. Kenyans are not stupid. You are the people with the problem, and you have to solve our problem as soon as possible before we send you back home in 2027. Not even before we send you, after we've sent you.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Thank you so much for that heated contribution. Yeah.
Okay, hi everyone.
Hi.
On the Kenya that I want, number one, and I will continue emphasizing on this. I want, number one, can we just do a civic education and a political education to our young generations? That's number one, because hawezi niambia, Kate, nataka ukue kwa party. Na kwa party, do I understand the meaning of that party? Do I know as to why I want to enter into that party? Unapata MCA kwa wodi yenye mimi natoka, like me, I'm from railways, anaenda na patia watu wa diaspora jamna, wakuje wafanye nini? Wavuke border, waende wafanye nini? Wakachukue kura. Those people doesn't understand that ward ka ward iko na MCA, and that MCA akuna kazi yake. Ushavuka border, umeenda kupatia MCA mwingine. What about MC wako? So that, yani unapata shida ikiwa at my ward, nitaenda kumpigia kelele. Sikumbuki kuwa nilivuka, I was once a diaspora. Nilipatiana kura kwingine. And secondly, vijana wengi, mtu unapata tu, wacha mimi niende tu nichukue kura so that mambo ikienda ngumu, ang'eni kondele kachacha bo bedo matek kuvuka ama kuboda matatu. Where kawa kurani awuoth ga godo e pasna. So I'm really emphasizing on this. Sisi kama mayouth kama tunaweza kuwa na kura yetu tuingie kwa hizi mapati, but at least know the reason as to why nakuwa na kura yangu, the reason as to why naingia kwa party. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, we can still continue. We can still continue getting as much insights from the floor. And just before you, Mheshimiwa, allow me to say that we are allowed that you are well fluent. So you can use Luo, you can use Swahili, as long as you communicate. You can continue, Chief.
Thank you so much. On the Kenya that I want, I think I'm going to zero down to the Siaya that I want, and again I'm going to zero down on each one that I want, and the Lego Songa. That we need leadership that is accessible, that is number one. We need leadership that is accountable, that is number two. That is focused on service delivery. Those are the three things that I think we need, or I need, in a Lego Usonga constituency. And I must say also that in my constituency and in a Lego Usonga constituency, the constituency that I want, majority of the youths are jobless. That is number one. And that is why they are being used here and there. They are being transported from one place to the other. And they are being used as a vehicle to deliver or to achieve political interest and political gains. My fellow spoke on the current member of parliament. I'll not mention his name, but he knows himself. When he was somewhere, he was saying that there were people who were supposed to attend a certain rally in Kisumu, and he was saying that these people are not supposed and are not allowed to come here and do this and this and that, because there are people that do not belong to this particular place, and of which we know that he mobilized people to stop that from happening. And I was so shocked because just the other day, people in my constituency, Lagos Songa constituency, and he was the same person now complaining of people infiltrating and people coming into his meetings without his invitation. And now he's taking the youths and us, because we have so many concerns from the youths of Lagos Songa. Right now, I can say that I have a backing of so many youths of Lagos Songa. I receive so much complaint because they're saying that right now we are now being quote unquote called as goons. But we're the same people that you are being called whenever this person wants something to be done or used. But right now they're being called as goons, and they're even being threatened to be shot here and there. So these are the things that we really don't want as the people of Lagos Songa. And I believe that if that can change and we have good leadership, if we can have good leadership and good leadership structure across all wards and across all constituency, I think these are the problems that we are not going to face at all. So that's the thing that I believe in: accountability, service delivery, and accessibility. Thank you so much.
Yes, so yeah, we can have one more from this side.
Thank you very much. My name is Cliff Omondi, and this is not the Kenya that I want. The Kenya that I want is likely ironical to what we're having right now. Our biggest problem is ignorance. And if I may ask, how many of us normally view the CADPs? How many of us do normally take their time to review the Auditor General's report? Now, the problems that we are having, we cannot in order to having when now a child when he feels that ayuko kwa table, you are leaving that boy to the streets, and the streets are worse. Again, let's do what moja. Again, let's say Siaya. We are rich in resources, but are we using the resources the right way? Generator, help yourself. You know, when our own thing, it's better. The Kenya I want is we don't need to have corruption, because the thought the millennials ni ile tunaambiwa mostly if I've been privileged to visit a lot of counties, and the mindset of so at during the colonial period ulikuwa unasikia wanasema tunaiba lakini usifanye nini, usipatikane. So it's something that has been there, but now what can we do to change that? That is we have the power, because we are the citizen, we have the say. The Kenya that I want is us to go in harmony, because once we have something to say, tuna move pamoja. Tukienda left kutakuwa na hiyo division, and we can't say anything.
Thank you so much, Chief. Maybe we could get gender balance, and then we go to the other side, please.
Thank you. So for the Kenya I want is where communities are able to practice social accountability without having the fear of being harassed, the fear of being earmarked, the fear of being kidnapped, or something of the sort. I believe that when communities practice social accountability, they're able to access quality service delivery, and these services are able to use them when they need these particular services in a timely manner and at the time that they want these particular services. And on top of that, I would wish to see intentional participation processes, not rubber stamp processes, but processes that are intentional and processes that ensure communities really enjoy sustainable development. Thank you.
We can clap for her, please. Oh, not clapping, we are snapping. Let's not forget that. So we are getting into the middle column. So the question still remains, just for those that are still joining us right now. We are having a discussion about our aspirations and priorities as young people. And my questions is in 3 tiers. What is the Kenya that you're looking at? What is the Kenya that you're looking for? And what is this Kenya that you really want to see? It's just one question, but it's coming in 3 tiers. So I'll be taking a few contributions from this middle row. Maybe if I could see by show of hands how many would want to contribute. I think we could take all of them. So just start off. Okay, 1 minute per contribution.
Okay, the current Kenya that I see is not actually the Kenya that I want. But the Kenya I want is a Kenya where everyone is responsible, especially the young people. One of the panelists just said that you'd like to see, okay? Are we informed enough? And after we are informed, what are we doing with this information, okay? Because we cannot be, let's say, complaining about leaders every now and again. We have to acknowledge, first of all, that we are part of the problem. Sisi ni sehemu ya hiyo shida, tena sehemu kubwa kabisa, because we are as wonderful as going to the ballot box to elect people wenye already wako na scandals. Unasikia ule alihead project fulani, pesa fulani ilipotea, lakini amekuja anataka MP, amekupea yako 200, umempigia kura, alafu later on unaanza kusema tunataka vitu kama hii na hii. Whereas ukipewa chance ya kuwa na hiyo Kenya unataka, you do
you do the opposite. Let us wake up as young people and know that there is no one who is coming to save us. We have to do this for ourselves. Tukisema tunataka mtu ako straightforward. Huyu amekuja tunasikia huko hajakuwa cleared, ako na scandal. Boss, kaa kando. Next, tunakusikiza. Huyu ako legit. Let us vote people who bear the qualities of leaders we would like to do what? To see. And also let us stay informed enough to know the questions to ask who. Okay? You cannot elect a suspect and expect him to be integral. Like, really? Hata kuwa na integrity. So, whatever is happening now, it is really sad that it is a reflection of who we are. The leaders we have now, how ndio sisi, because hawakufika hapo kivyao. We took them there, okay? So even as we occupy these political parties, we have already known that yes, this one can act as vehicles for change. So if we get into those vehicles, are we just going to shut up in those vehicles? No, we are going to be active. We are going to push for whatever we feel is right. That is the Kenya that I want. Asante.
Yeah, 1 minute for the next speaker.
Hi everyone. My name is Clay. I'm from Kisumu, and I'll say two things. It's quite unfortunate that even in conversations where we want to discuss the type of country we want, we still stereotype generations. We can't want the same Kenya and still come here and say, you know millennials, you know Gen Zs, you know nini nini. We are beginning a problem that we won't be able to solve. So it's simple. All of us as Kenyans are suffering. How are we solving the suffering? And I'll keep on repeating. A while back, our parents were probably in the same position, talking about the same grievances. If history is not corrected, history will repeat itself over and over again. So the Kenya that I want is a Kenya that is not going to repeat histories of murders, histories of goonism, history of unemployment. A Kenya that I want is a Kenya that is moving forward. A Kenya that is not having people who are criminals as people who are seated in the offices. Full stop.
Yeah. We are taking only one more from here. Just 1 minute.
Okay. I'm Ochieng Otieno. To know the Kenya I want, I must understand the Kenya I'm living. We are living in a Kenya where if you are paid to attend a meeting, you are a youth. If you come out to demand your right, you are a goon. That's the Kenya we are living in, right? We are living in a Kenya where the senior most government official will say, shoot their legs. Right? We are living in Kenya where the county government has the audacity to employ nurses without going on procedural way and come to realize that they did it wrong and sack them. That's the Kenya we are living in, right? Yeah. And all these problems is as a result of our own mistakes that we must. Even today, we are living in a surveillance whereby everything you are doing, we are under watch by our fellow youth. You are attending meetings, and where you are, one of you is busy reporting everything that you are doing. So, the Kenya we want should start from understanding this. Understanding that in 2023, another senior cabinet secretary was saying that we can go for a loan, we can take a date to pay teachers, right? So, solution one is that if we go for an election, let's elect people much because doctors will come here to, lawyers will come to argue, right? Most still is that one mind sensitized is not. So, with what you know, please sensitize those others. As of today, somebody is still saying that Mimi sioni haja ya kupiga kura. Put these people down. Drill sense into those heads. So that if you walk into 2027, we have the same mindset. Understanding the problem we have and ready to fix it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So we'll to the last lane. And please observe the 1 minute rule. I'm a bit soft, but I may.
Thank you. My name is Basil Odiambo, and I'm the aspirant Kajulu Ward through Jubilee ticket. On the Kenya want, I think the first step, we must change our perception towards electing these leaders. We've been too loyal to electing leaders who've been giving us changes. Chukua pesa, but assess these leaders, you elect the right leader. And the first step towards the Kenya want in next year, let us act ikifika siku election to elect the right leader mwenye ata bring change. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for, so we're keeping to that tone, just 1 minute, and you tell us the Kenya you want, you sit down, 1 minute as we continue.
Now, good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. David Oremo, for the purpose of seeing me well, challenged, I'm not that tall, okay? So, thanks for getting me into this forum. And I would like us to, first of all, start with this wonderful book. This is the Constitution of Kenya. How many of you have a copy of the Constitution of Kenya? Very good. How many of you have read and understood the Constitution of Kenya? Bits. Okay, now the problem begins, okay? We've got the County Government Act 2012. How many of you have read the County Government Act 2012? Okay. Now, we've got, for Siaya, we've got the Siaya County Village Administrative Units Act. How many of you have read that act? The Siaya County, for those coming from Siaya. In any case, that act is online, so you can access it because I have all those acts for the other counties in Kenya. Just Siaya. Josiah, Adi Mose download the Siaya County Village Administrative Units Act. Okay? Now, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we need to begin from, okay? I want, at the end of the day, make sure you download a copy of the Constitution, either in Kiswahili or English. Make sure you download a copy of the County Government Act. Make sure you download the Village Administrative Units Act for various counties. I know it's already available in Siaya. It's available in Kisumu. Homa Bay, they are yet to pass that act. Migori, they are yet to pass that act. So in those counties where they are yet to pass the act, make sure you push your MCAs to enact the Village Administrative Units Act, okay? Now, the Constitution of Kenya is described as the Green Constitution. How many of you have heard about the word the Green Constitution? The copy I'm carrying here is what color is that? Is maroon, huh? But basically the write-up is green, okay? It's a green constitution. Why? Because Article 42 of the Constitution talks about our right to a clean and healthy environment, okay? Article 43 talks about our socio-economic rights, okay? Now, these two rights, they will not just come to you. We must go for them. And we must go for them unapologetic. Okay? Whether they like it or they don't like it, we are going for those things. Okay? And the vehicle for going for those rights is the village administrative units. Okay? A village administrative unit, that's the smallest unit where public participation will begin. So make sure in wherever countries they're coming from, make sure the village administrative units are established. If they're not established, then there is something known as Adopt a Village, which I'm trying together with my friends Dr. is a member and he knows about this. Make sure you are part and parcel of the Adopt a Village, okay? Adopt a Village approach. Then rally support, basically mobilize your people to join the team. Because nobody will come and help us to basically get ourselves out of the mud, okay? Then we must discuss what's known as climate change. You've heard about climate change, okay? Climate change is not just about whatever you see. It's about governance, okay? And there are two dimensions to climate change. There is a socio-political side.
Doc, kindly.
Yes.
You could be brief.
Yes. There is a socio-political side, and then there is a biophysical side, okay? So the first thing is to sort out our socio-political side of the equation. And socio-political side is sorted out by the Constitution of Kenya. So we must make sure that the Constitution is implemented to the letter, okay? The Constitution of Kenya is not a wish list. It's mandatory, okay? Yeah, I think I will end there. The rest we'll pick it up during the questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Doc is quite passionate about climate governance. We could take in maybe 3 more, a minute each, please, so we can save on time. And back to my panelists.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Joachim Victor Omondi, convener People's Desk. It's a privilege to be here, especially to discuss the Kenya I want. And when I read the Kenya I want, I think I pause a bit for some seconds and ask myself, who's going to build it for me? Claire hinted at it, and I think that is the right question we need to answer. If we don't do that, we're going to do these things the same way over and over, and we'll be discussing this from one county to another, repeating our common challenges. So who's going to build it for me, therefore becomes the right question for me to get the Kenya I want. The Constitution of Kenya 2010 movement, who are the people on the streets? The young people. Talk about don't amend, reject. Who are the people on the streets? Me and you, the young people. But what change has that brought us? I think it's time we get into a new frontier, and this would be mastering governance. For us to bring these changes, because every day it's the National Assembly that changes the laws. It is the county assemblies allocating resources. It is the Senate protecting counties. And it is National Assembly doing the budget and making taxes that we pay. One of our panelists, Emmanuel, asked a question. How many of us really know or have the actual figure of the debt that we owe the country? Now, I ask on top of that, do you know who's going to bear the cost of paying that debt for the next 40 years? Me and you, we are the people who are young today. So we are going to live for the next 40 years, paying these debts. What do we therefore need to do? Can we arise and occupy the spaces that, the democratic spaces that the Constitution has created? This change is no longer going to happen on the streets. Yes, going to the streets will make leader we have. Is going to be occupying the National Assembly, occupying the county assemblies, occupying cabinets. Graphics, we are the majority. But the Constitution calls us there. Do you know how Constitution identifies us? The marginalized. How can you be marginalized when you're the majority? And our numbers do not have a structure. So it produces noise. If we can bring a structure into our numbers through political parties, through independent candidates and what have you, I believe we are going to solve this problem.
Afternoon.
My name is Rosalind Belinda, and I am an oncologist on issues cancer, specifically breast cancer. And the Kenya I want is a Kenya where medics are not going outside the country to seek greener opportunities. Yeah? Because if the healthcare system is appreciated by our government well, then there's no need for us to travel and go and support other healthcare systems that are already working, right? Recently, which is last month, KEMSA released a report that malarial drugs and carcinogens were expired, lots of them. Yeah? And why were they expiring? Do we know why the drugs were expiring? Do we? We don't know. Do we have SHA inside here? Is the SHA working? Sahi ukivunja tu mguu, is the SHA working? Do we know how much it costs to treat breast cancer? Cash, bila kuguza SHA. Do we know? We don't, sindio? And do you think your SHA can pull it off? You need 1 million Kenya shillings cash before tushike SHA ya kutibu breast cancer. Na tujaanza kusema ni breast cancer type 1 ama type 2. So me, the Kenya I want, madawa zina expire pale KEMSA because we can't afford to buy, we as Kenyans can't afford to buy these drugs. Sahi hata dawa hakuna osi, hakuna hata Panadol, watoi wanadedi, si ndio? Yeah? Unaambiwa ati ukatirishita alafu uende ununue Panadol nje. Mbona? Na every other month or every other year tuko na public participations, tunaandika budgets, the CSOs, the young leaders, everybody, all the stakeholders involved. Tunaweka pale budgets za kununua hizi madawa. Zinaenda ngapi hizo ndo? I want a Kenya where women are safe, women and children and men. On issues sexual terrorism, I don't like calling it rape anymore. It is sexual terrorism. Juu tumetoka kwa mama watoi sahi tunabaka hadi kuku. Sindio? Yeah.
Thank you so much. We can give all ourselves a round of applause. Yes. You're the last one. Can you take a minute?
Yes.
Is it possible?
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Oscar Wambia, and I'm running for the position of Member of County Assembly in Siaya Township Ward in Siaya County. The Kenya I see today is a country burdened in debt. It's a country choked in lack of access to opportunities by our young people. It's a country that lacks the use of available natural resources to move us to a first world. Yet we have all the resources, particularly human resource. What is the Kenya I want? I'm looking at a Kenya that will provide opportunities to young people based on meritocracy and affirmative action, given the deliberate way that they have been ignored by previous regimes to date. A country that has opportunities provided for, not just given to people based on who knows who, but based on their capacities, and that those opportunities are shared equally. How do we get there finally? By strengthening our political parties. I happen to be the chairman of the Movement for Democracy and Growth, MDG, in Siaya County. And political parties have the greatest opportunity and structure to sensitize people. And with support from partners like IRI, political parties need to be at the forefront in not just pushing for democracy so that those who win are declared, but also sensitizing people on the importance of participating in political processes. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you, everyone. Kizungu kubwa. Exactly, right? So I hope for those following us online, this is the discussion around the Kenya I Want. And we are having a discussion, particularly from young people from the 4 counties of the former Nyanza province, that is Siaya, Kisumu, Homa Bay, and Migori. You can like, comment, share on Sarah House YouTube channel, and we will be able to get some time and just read in your inputs. And when you're doing that, when you're sharing and liking and interacting with our post, please use our hashtags to participate. Use our hashtag Occupy Parties and hashtag The Kenya I Want. So even as this discussion is continuing, we're really expecting that we will have that online in a few. We will be reading some of the comments from those that are following us online. Can we do that right now? Okay. There are people participating online, so you could just hand in the mic.
Viva comrades, viva. More power to the people, more power. Niaje hamna power bana. More power to the people, more power. Who are the people? We are the people, sindio? So there are a few, this is on YouTube, we are live. A few people sending in their on the conversation. The Kenya, this is Eric Otieno, the Kenya I want is Kenya of good governance, good security. We have Nyapoke saying the Kenya I want should be transparent and accountable to its people. Sharon is saying the Kenya I want is that one that democracy is practiced with democracy that is only on papers. Eric Otieno is saying the Kenya I want, Kenya where people are taken equal, no tribalism. The Kenya I want is Kenya where youths are treated well, no killing of youths. Youths get opportunities of jobs within our country, Kenya. Ochieng Moses is saying the Kenya I want is a safer Kenya where security is guaranteed to all to participate. Aluftango is speaking about Basil there. Emmanuel Otieno, a very healthy conversation. Daniel is saying a Kenya with clearly relevant priorities. For myself, I think the Kenya I want, because I always say the government is in a biashara ya taxes. So that's how they operate. They collect our taxes. Sisi ni taxpayers. So the Kenya I want is a Kenya where kuna dignity na sanctity ya wananchi. Sindio? Kwa sababu when we are speaking about a broken education system that is in shambles, then we are asking ourselves, productive, because if you are collecting taxes, you want a productive citizen. Sindio? A productive citizen is an educated citizen. So if an educated citizen is more productive and will make you collect more taxes, why are you not then investing in their education? You collect more taxes.
Thank you.
A healthy, just 1 minute, a healthy citizen is a more productive citizen. Sindio? Yeah. Watu wakiwa healthy, they are productive, work, collect taxes. So why are we then investing in healthcare systems to ensure that our citizens are healthy and productive? So inamaanisha, and it's in the interest of the government, healthy and educated. And why are they not doing it? Because it's by design. They want to compromise vulnerable so that they may take advantage of you, oppress you, and even extract. And that's something that we need to counter as a people.
The last, who did I?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Sharon from Kisumu County. To me, the conversation of the Kenya I want is something that we've longed for the longest time. To me, I would say the Kenya I have now is not the Kenya I wish to have for the coming days. I would want the Kenya I want to be transparent and accountable. In this regard, where allocated here has been used this way. So we would want to push for this. When you bring us together to show us that we want to do this, also bring us together to show us that this is what we had said we want, starting completions, do what, hiyo vitu yote na hakuna kitu tunaona kama results. Another thing, we have our leaders that are already in those seats and they are not, themselves, they don't even understand their roles. Unapata MCA na promise barabara mahali, of which is not even a part of their roles. Then I would also prefer to have these leaders brought in one place, in a public debate. Kila mtu auze sera zake kama hako pale, aseme mimi kama Sharon, nataka nifanye hii na hii. Kila mtu ajitetee kama mwananchi yako. With those manifestos zenye tunapatia watu wa cyber, nitengeneze tu hiyo kitu ikae mzuri. It will not happen. Then again, we need the help of the EACCC. As we know that the main problem we have is corruption. Hao wenyewe wanafuatilia tu zile mamilioni ndio wagawe 20 wabaki waki-investigate 10. So we really need their support in this move so that in any case we would want somebody anaamka nasema leo nataka nisimame MCA area. What is your background in terms of handling easy resources or any other, hata tu kumanage nyumba yako peke yake?
How are you managing it? Ndio ukuje kutulead kwa community.
Thank you.
Then again, we have the people. As far as we may want that Kenya that we all want, do other people know that they are the bosses of these other leaders that we see today? Let's make the community understand that chapter 1 of the Constitution, that power that is in their hands, should be exercised democratically. See, only in papers. We are the people, we have the powers. What are you doing with the powers? Let's make these people understand. Hawa watu sisi ndo tunawaandika kazi. Sio kila time ukienda kwa MC unamuita Jatendenga. You are the boss there. Make them understand that you're the one having them in those positions, and you are being paid by their taxes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, we have very many electoral positions that are not even productive to our society today. Unapata mpaka kuna zile nominated. Tunawajua tu kwa makaratasi. Ni nini wanafanya kwa society? Kwa community na yako ile ya kawaida ile ya chini. You are nominated MCA. Anafanya nini difference hapo? Sio kuenda National Assembly just to push for other people's interests. I think it is that time that we need to go back to the provinces, where we have very few elective positions that are functional, and we bring everyone to accountable. The moment we uphold that accountability, mtu ataogopa kuja kwa hiyo position akijua wenyewe akona kesi ya shooting mahali, akona kesi ya corruption mahali. So let's make these people understand we are the people, and we are those that have power to employ these people. We are employing them, putting them in those positions. Hata ujue MCA yako ana how much. Who knows, from the little positions to the highest. Unajua umewaandikisha pesa ngapi? Hatujui. Lakini we are the bosses, and we call ourselves the people who have the power. So where is our power? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for the contributions. You'll allow me to go back to my panel. I'm coming back. Thank you. For every other person who has anything left, just hold that thought for a minute. I'll get back to my panelists just for, a quick reflection on what the audience is saying. We have heard from all the corners that indeed there is disconnect. Indeed, the people are feeling that there is something that really needs to be done. People are feeling that what they bid for is not what they are getting. And I'll get back to my panelists, Ian. Thank you. And I'll just ask one question to all of them, even as we get into the next phase of this discussion. And for those that are following us online, remember to like, to follow, and even to share this particular discussion. And even if you are in this hall, you are allowed to. You can take a picture with a friend, and once you're posting that picture, make sure you tag to participate. Use the hashtag the Kenya I want, use the hashtag Occupy Parties. And now to the next phase of this discussion, I will be coming back to my panelists and ask what we need to do to ensure that Kenya we are seeing. But you as a person, the first question would be, I was able to listen, and there's something that seems to be cutting across board. Are we really a reflection of our leaders? So once you've answered that, then the next question would be, what do you think is our role in ensuring this Kenya that we want? So that would be 3 minutes for each of you.
I've heard the conversations we've had. They are very honest and emotional as they are, because that's the current Kenya we are, right? And so to respond to your question, you've asked, are we really the reflection of the leaders that we have already? And I'll pose that question to you. Do you in 2022? Do you see yourself of the presidents that we have, of the women rep that you voted, of the member of parliament that you voted in? Do we? So my answer is no. And then to the next question, we've talked about the issues, and this is another challenge to us young people, and I'm putting this back to all of us. One thing, somebody has said that we are ignorant. Sindio? And that is the reason we are here, and we are having this timely conversation. But the challenge is here. Are we really honest with ourselves? Are we really honest? Saizi watu wengine wamesema they want to be MCAs, they want to be MPs. Wengine they're supporting other people. Do you think the person you're supporting, are you really being honest to the Kenya that you want, that we've talked about? In 2024, when you all know what happened, right? I think the finance bill that was brought in. But did you see what happened? What happened? The government approached. Who did the government approach when we went out to demonstrate? Did the government came to us to say, young people, let's gather somewhere and talk? Did the government did that? Who did the government approach? Baba, and Baba was a party leader, right? And so me to this conversation. For us to achieve all this that we want, we must also be able to understand how does the government responds in. We have the parliament, we have the county assembly. When I talk of the government, we're talking of the county government and also the right? Parties registered by show. Are not in those political parties, right? And the people who are in those political parties, are you really active in those political parties? Ama wewe tu ni mtu wa ODM. Are we really active? That is why, for us to all this, but then we never received whatever we wanted. As much as, the government approached a party leader, that was ODM, right? And the party had their priorities. And what happened? New CSS were awarded to the ODM, right? So maybe those were the priorities of the party. So again, it's as young people for us, if we want these issues that we have to be solved, then we have to be in political parties. We have to be in a position of understanding how are budgets being formed, how are policies and laws being formed. Do we even understand such? Do we even participate, intentional participation in when it comes to budget processes, when it comes to public participation on a law? Do we do that as young people? So to respond to the question, I just want us to be honest to each other. Be honest to yourself. As a young person who is here, are you really honest to yourself, to the Kenya that you want? That's my take.
Thank you. To the next seller, the first question will remain constant. Are you a reflection of the leaders you believe in or you elected? And generally, do you think we are a reflection of our leaders as a country? And then my second question to you would be, how does then the government respond to these issues that these young people have raised? How do you think the government should respond, and are they responding? 3 minutes.
Thank you so much again, moderator. First, am I, Seller, a reflection of the leader I elected and the leaders having today? Number one, I am a reflection of the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. I voted for him. I stand and live in his political ideologies and values. And that means most of the time I will sit at the wrong hands of very many people. Because I will tell you it is wrong, it is wrong. We are not doing it and we are not doing it. And I will stand to it. Am I a reflection of the leadership of this country? No. One, I never voted the country's president. I am living with the decision of unfortunate, ignorant country. I am suffering because of their choices that reflect themselves. And if I might say that the only leader, the few leaders that I think are trying to make it, maybe because I am so invested in good governance that I see a lot in very leaders. and maybe a few that make the decisions, and maybe the caucuses that make the decisions that we live with by today are the ones who are letting down. We might have a number, but the number is not enough to make a... Like they say, the majority will have their way after the minority has just scrapped off. You will find that they will never see the light, because we will have the likes of one Mheshimiwa Babu Owino who comes from this land, Bondo constituency, who will have a stand on what is really good for Kenyans and the common mwananchi. But him alone and a few other leaders where he sits will not make it to what we really want. So to me, we still have a chance, just like most of us have said, that we can still make a change to what we really want. And the next question
was how does the government respond to these issues that the young people have raised?
The government of the day honestly does not respect the constitution that is a guiding factor and a document to how it should be responding to how they govern this country. And the change that we earn today can only be given when the institutions are respected and upheld. For example, we have divergent opinions. And the Constitution states clearly that we, the power, we, the people, have that mandate to tell the government what we want, or to criticize the government. And we have that freedom of speech articulated very well in our Constitution. But because we have a government that only expects its citizens to massage their fragile egos, you will mention that it is not right to pass a bill that most Kenyans feel that it is rights, but it goes ahead and do that which we don't want. Why? Because they don't respect our Constitution. They don't respect the institutions that really gave them that power to be in those positions. This government is not responding to any of our challenges. Today, I don't know if it is in Kisumu that the Nyota project second phase is being disbursed. And this is an initiative that we are going to be charged. We are going to pay it because it is a loan. It is funded by World Bank. And we are going to pay. But just for us to get that money in our funds, we have to have 3/4 of the government from one ministry, that is finance. I know Buddy is there with the whole of his team in Kisumu. How much has been used to transport these leaders from Nairobi to Kisumu? Is it not enough for us in here to be given that finance, each one of us, so that we go and improve our enterprises, which is going to improve our lives? If I stand today and decide and ask everybody here to share a video of me condemning this act, it will be very unfortunate that I might be buried within 7 days from today that the video will go. So the government is responding by silencing the dissenting voices. The government is using the police, which are meant to protect us, to silence us instead. There is one very saddening video that I saw when our activists were out to commemorate the death of the fallen heroes from the 2024 demonstrations. A person with disability was being mishandled and his scratches were taken away from him, and he was being pushed from that government. Why? Because he was celebrating heroes who have made it. At least a step was made by the Cabinet Secretary of Finance to public participation that was not there in the budget that we were demonstrating over. I want to appreciate one of our cohort members, my fellow reformists, who mentioned that I think we should go we should do away with the demonstrations, and we should just boycott and ground this government. Anytime they say something that 3/4 of these countries, or majority of us, like we are marginalized. We youth, we are marginalized, and we have the numbers. Can we just have a different way of doing things? Because when we go to the streets, we lose the lives that will stand against strong tomorrow, or of the generation that we are today. So me, I would go by, like, if it is not working for us, we should boycott. And one thing again, we youths, we are going for handouts because we don't have that employment. Sindio, we don't have a job. Now that hatuna job, na hawa watu wanataka kwenda kwa meetings zao wanapatia handouts. If you see Atandi is calling for violence in this country, and you don't go by that, and you don't like that, and you know that if you attend Atandi's, he's going to do 200. Why don't we just avoid that meeting so that he be in that meeting alone? Akae tu hapo peke yake, akijua in real sense tumekasirika na tuko, and then we take this opportunity and give it to Steve. Steve is one of us here, and is also aggrieved of what is happening in his constituency. What if we give him that chance? It's just that it's very unfortunate that we youths, the likes of Toto, cannot stand up for us youth, and she is a youth who was given that position, but massages the egos of a president that doesn't care about us. We the youth, we can. We the people, we can. And we can make a change. You are the change, and I am the change. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. As the debate is getting heated, thank you so much for being around, because you know you're a diplomat. You know how to cool the temperatures. So then my final question to you would be, Stella has spoken about what is happening and how the government is responding, how she thinks the government is responding to the concerns that the young people have raised. Mary Goretti spoke about the honesty. She was a bit worried of young people being very honest about the things that we are saying. My question to you, therefore, would be, what ought to be done? How then should the government respond to these questions of unemployment, of insecurity, of healthcare, of infrastructure, of access? What are the defined democratic ways of handling these issues by the government?
Thank you so much. First, before I respond to that, there's an interesting question you ask, whether we are a true reflection of our leaders. I'll be quite interesting. I believe when a leader comes to you that they want you to elect them, they bring you their manifesto. And if you fall in love with that, then you say, Honorable Odero Chopper, Tosha. But I will say it's like our leaders camouflage. Yeah, you believe in him today, but when they get into the decision-making table, that is the assembly, the county assembly, national assembly, and the Senate, they totally look different. And one of the interesting quotes is that we've heard of a leader telling you that, you know, you didn't elect me. I was elected by the party. Yeah? This is the same leader that when they came, they look so believable. They look like they will transform the nation. They'll transform your place. And it's the same. The way, when they appear to us, they came as reformists. But when they reach where we expect them to work, they are totally different. And I will take a good example. Recently, we had the voting on the finance bill. You saw some of them were on vacation. Some of them pretend that they are sick. So, is that a reflection of the leaders that we really wanted? No. And then secondly, I would say At some extent we are. Why? This is it. When we have somebody who is very honest, and most of us, we don't have that financial muscle. You are out of school, you are starting a job, and even IBC, even the amount that IBC has raised so that you have to campaign is shocking. Where would you get the billions if you want to vie for presidency? Where do you get that? And so, by doing this, they have placed the system that even the voter themselves, if today Dikizo comes and say, "Mi nataka mnipeleke free," what will the voters tell you? Recently, if you allow me, the former Chief Justice said that he doesn't have anything to give the young people. Wakasema mkono mtupu haulambwi. And yet, they are the same people who will want to say that our leaders are not working. So, you see, we are creating this. One, we are not a reflection of our leaders because our leaders, once they get into decision making, they camouflage. Two, we have also created that environment that you can't come up as a young person who wants to vie and get it an easy way. Hata sahi wanasema, kama hauna pesa kaka, usijari, the stakes are high. Who has raised the stakes? No, it's the people who have raised the stakes. Yeah. So coming to the second question, what should be done? And there's also asked whether the government is also responding to us. I will say yes. Even silence means response. If I take you back to finance bill, the people of Kenya, especially young people, came up and said that this bill does not favor us in A, B, C, D. What did the government do? The parliament went ahead and passed the bill. And by the way, government has three arms. That is the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive. So for me, I believe change emanates from these three levels of arm. One, there are changes that require legal documentation. Like today, you've heard when the president wanted to launch some project somewhere in a place that they believe has been marginalized. Tomorrow you find somebody has gone to court to stop that. And so it is back and forth. This delays the progress of those people to get what? To get justice. And even the judicial system. How many of us trust the judicial system? Very few. Two, the other arm of government that is this is where the problem is. Actually, I've had a problem of those who are saying, and I'll just say they are lindering us, whether on the ground or lindering us as citizens. I believe these people ask that who is representing Kisumu West, who is representing Bondo Town, of Bondo. What is the agenda into this arm of government that is the legislature? We're able to influence the decisions that political parties make. And then lastly, there's the arm of the government that is the executive. This is the arm that has even the power to introduce executive orders. So, if today I am the president and I have been given something that I feel it is very urgent, I believe I should treat it with urgency that the citizens are demanding. So, you've seen the way our arm, also the president, there are things he ignores, there are things he takes seriously, but do the things that he takes seriously as the executive arm, are they the priorities of the citizens of Kenya? And I would say, in most cases, no. So, to sum it up, the solutions that this government needs to be approached from those three arms of government. The legislature, these policies that are effective, the executive by understanding the priorities and the basis of the people, and then the judiciary by easing the process of anything that can block the duration, the period that some of these cases take that derive us and take us back from developing.
Thank you so much. A round of applause. So, getting into the last question, as we close in this discussion, we've heard of the Kenya we want. We've seen our role in delivering panel, and this time I'm going to be a little strict. It will just take, not to the panel, to the audience, the role of political parties. As Manuel said, that some of these, the way government responds through this is through policies, rules, regulations, acts of parliament, and etc. And we are all aware that all that happened in the legislature. And the people who are in the legislature are products of political parties, right? And much of the referencing has been done around what happened in June 2024 was approached. And this shows that indeed political parties yield a lot of power for whether, number one, you believe that political parties have a role to play in this. And if you believe that the political parties have a role to play in this, then what do you think is that role? So just like we did last time, we'll pick two from each. Yeah, you could pick two from each. Please pick those who didn't.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I'm Doro Bay County, and I'm going to speak about the role of political parties in shaping the Kenya that we want. Firstly, currently we know that uchumi si rahisi, si ndio? Yeah, the goods have become so much expensive, and at the same time, they are out of reach. And taxes as well are worsening the whole situation because our government is promoting importation rather than the locally produced raw materials. I think that our taxes are being used to solve the problem that the government can solve, not us. And this is where our political parties comes in. The rule of numbers. To join political party numbers to participate, we are going to give that political party a brand name. And once we have the brand, it becomes stronger and more influential, si ndio? Na nani hataki kukua kwenye watu wako wengi? Nani hataki? Si sote tunataka, si ndio? Yeah, so the more influential we are, the more MPs we will produce, si ndio? Yeah, and wakienda pale parliament, they can petition our grievances and reject those financial bills which are oppressing us, or rather the tax charges that are oppressing us, si ndio?
Thank you.
Yeah, saa yangu tu ni kuambia mjoin party na participate, na mkiparticipate mkuwe very active, si kujoin tu, si ndio? Asante.
Yep, thank you. Who else? Second time. And kindly pick those who haven't spoken since we began.
Thank you. My name is Tracy Anyango. So I would like to talk about the role of political parties. So first of all, when you're a member of a political party, you have a voice in that particular party. Your voice can be listened to, and you represent the people. We can see that whenever we are in the parliament, you have the majority side and the minority side. So you find that when decisions are being made, a bad one or a good one, obviously the majority side always wins. Even if they're on the bad side, it will always win. So political party influences the decision that members of parliament make in the parliament.
Thank you.
Another thing, political parties is a big pillar. When we look at when there was reject the finance bill, we can see that the pillars were shaken. And when the pillars were shaken, the president was to fall down. And when our head is to fall down, we need to strengthen our pillars. So one of the greatest pillar that we have to strengthen our leadership is political parties. We can see that when things were going haywire, the political parties came together to solve the issue, and we can see that the decision was made being was made in favor of the political parties. So political parties, it's good to be a member of a political party. You can register it through your phone, star 507 hash, and you be a member. 509 hash, and you be a member. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good student and maybe a believer of Raila Amolo Odinga, of which I was also a good student and a believer. I'm just asking a simple question to our panelists. We are going to talk too much here without getting the results. I heard somebody asking us here, how many people are in the political party? And it was just a handful. Then why are we bringing this thing to the people? So we need we need to really focus on which party are we going to take. Thirdly, that's the third. Third one, I want to ask those people sitting up on bed. You were saying about the majority and the minority in the parliament. Today we have ODM, UDA, UGM, everybody. But now we know there are only two political parties which are strong, which is ODM and UDA. The UDAs also have some small fractures in it. And now we have the DCP coming, we have other parties coming. In the last budget passing process, it's a thing that brought one-term and a two-term thing, shenanigan in the parliament. So if I join ODM or I join UDA, but then when they are coming for a discussion, somebody who I believe who is in ODM now is saying that he's not going to pass or he's going to pass because of his in one term or two term. Is one term or two term part of this thing? Or is it a new coming problem that we have? Lastly, that I must stress for. He or she wants. We want people to be fair. We cannot be saying that if somebody is butchered that from Mount Kenya, that we call it that the government ameua mtu wetu and blah blah blah. But when somebody from our Luo nation is being killed, even our youth are being given 10,000 to run a Twitter account that one was a goon. Kwani kuna mtu alizaliwa goon hii dunia? And if he is dead and he has been killed by the government, why don't we fight for their rights? So we have to be fair as a country. Hata wewe mwenye umekaa hapa, be fair. I don't know. Huyu nasikia anasimama MP Alega Usonga. When you are told to bring people in this forum, ulileta mtu ya tandi ama ulisema tu ni watu wako? So we need to fight these things starting from us. Don't go outside. Start with yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. We can take some few in the middle. And remember, the question still remains the role of political parties in delivering the Kenya we want. So please, can we stay faithful to the question? I know we have so much to say.
Thank you very much. My name is Linda Gweno. I come from Kisumu County. I'd like to add my voice to the question, the role of political parties. And I'd want to direct my contribution towards the role of political party leaders in Kenya. And I opine that political party leaders shape the narratives and the conversations that we have. For example, today, go to your social media and check the hashtags that are trending. And when we live here, which conversations are we going to have with our mothers, with our sisters, na wase wetu pale kwa mtaa? Tunaenda kuongea story gani? And who has come up with that narrative? Allow me to challenge you. One of the narratives that a political side brought up, ati hakuna mtu mwenye anaweza toa. Yes. That was a narrative that somebody came up with it. And we found ourselves buying it and discussing it. But somebody came up with it. And so I feel that political party leaders come up with the conversation that we have, our everyday conversation. And as a woman, not only a woman aspirant, but a woman who's passionate about women issues, I feel it is very important for political party leaders to take call party, see into it that when your political party leader is talking, they are talking about issues that are affecting us. Thank you.
Welcome. And for those that are following this discussion online, you can also send in your contributions.
You can share, like, and follow. And when you do so, please use the hashtag to participate, the Kenya I Want, the hashtag Occupy Parties. And right now the discussion is that what exactly is the role of political parties in this? Do political parties have a role? Any contribution from? Is there contribution?
Yes.
Okay.
As my colleagues have reiterated that the party plays a very important role. Members are elected. Political parties sponsor members to either county assembly or national assembly. And these members are the ones. We also need to ask ourselves the question, while we are getting into these political parties, the same question that we asked at the beginning of the Kenya we want, in relation also to achieving it, rain start beating us. You know, you can find yourself deep in the middle of the forest, struggling to find your way out. But if you pass the same tree, a tree that you already passed twice, by the time the demonstrations were over, or they felt isolated. And that is how we exposed them. So we have an outfit, a standalone outfit, and with a shared aspiration, the issues that we have talked about as young people that we feel that are so close to our hearts, how that structure is supposed to look like, that is the $1 million question. We have got young people across the country who have what it takes to come up with that proper structure of how that outfit needs to look like. And that outfit should not only be used for elections. For now, we are contesting to win election. We should not contest because we are youth. We should not contest because we are young. That contesting, we should contest as a strategy. And that strategy should be for the long-term goal. We form political movements as young people. Once elections are over, those political movements are dissolved. Next election comes again, we do the same thing. Political parties are organizing themselves. They are forming coalition governments, they are forming broad-based government, they are forming all manner of unity. But as they are doing that, what do we have as young people that we can use to bargain and find our way in the system?
Thank you. I think at this point, we are all agreeing that political parties have a role to play, right? I'm looking for somebody who doesn't believe that political parties have a role to play so that we can convince them before this discussion ends. Just one person to speak on behalf of all of them. I'll leave that to...
Yes. My name is Joyce. It's not like I don't believe that political parties have a role to play, but to some extent, I don't think they play a bigger part. When we are going to elections, if you're in a political party, you must be given a bid for you to go and vie for that position. If you are in a political party and they don't give you a chance to stand for, you will not stand for it. For example, we have a party. I'm not going to mention the name of the party, and it has aspirants who want to stand for a position. They are only going to give the person who has money. This young person who does not have money, yet he has a vision to change for example, their constituency or their county, they will not be given that opportunity. So at these political parties are warped because the leaders are very corrupted. They are only going to give the people whom they know the people are going to give them something. So even as we join these political parties, let us still have our brains. Please leave your brain at home. Because you're going to join there, and then what next? If you join a party, if you want to stand for a position, are you going to be given a chance to stand for that position? Ask yourself that question. Thank you.
Thank you so much. She's really asked a question that after joining this policy, what next? And I think the response is just hapa nyuma yetu. The response is that once you join the political parties, we're expecting that after this discussion that you will actually do what? Participate, right? And then number two, you will also do what? You will occupy those political parties so that you can take up those leadership positions and you be the one that vets people who eventually get to the ballot. I'm looking for another person who does not believe so that we can convince them and then we just close it. Who does not believe that political parties have a role? There's somebody over there, he's been raising his hand.
Okay,
and you can be brief because we want to convince you and we want to take the shortest time possible to do so.
Okay, I'm Jeremy Omondi from West Sakwa, that is in Bondo. I don't believe that political party play a big role in the Kenya that we want tomorrow. Just in reference to what happened in 2024 after the budget was passed, you get that the political party are still rewarding some of the MPs that like the one from ODM. I can mention one, but he comes from Nairobi. He went ahead and was given money by the government to support the finance bill. Then again, they're still coming to the party. They want to be rewarded another position. So how do you convince us that these leaders are legible and we need to participate in political party that support this kind of leaders? Thank you.
Okay. So before I take the comments from the people online, you'll just allow me do this. Joachim has been a campaigner of independent candidates, and I think he's been anti-political parties in this region. So maybe we could just give him a minute to brief us on why you think political parties are not necessary and whether we can convince you to now actively participate in political parties. And 1 minute, please, Joachim. I know you can take the whole day here.
Thank you, Dr. Ari. Thank you so much. I don't believe political parties have a role to play. Moving forward, 2027. As things stand, they have a lot to play because in assemblies we have majority wing and minority wing with their whips. But when we had this document, 2010 Constitution, there was another leeway called the independent candidates. There's a reason as to why they gave that leeway. If you believe, like I so do, that we don't need much political parties, let's send people in numbers as independent candidates. And moving forward, we'll be electing people based on what they stand for, not where they're vying, or not the vehicle they're using to vie or to run for.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, everyone. We may not have the time to listen to all of our concerns because I definitely know every one of us had something to say in this discussion. But then in the interest of time, you will allow me crown it up. We have been sitting here for 2.5 hours. And I think it is at this point that I will have to go back to my panelists for their final remarks. And your final remarks should bear the following in mind. Number one, whether is a role of political parties in this, in the Kenya we want. And the next thing that I would also expect you to, just as you're giving your own final submissions, is this Kenya we want. Are we going to see it if these young people here join political parties? And I'm going to be very strict, 3 minutes each before we listen to what our online viewers are saying. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for your contributions. Those are powerful conversations. Those are powerful contributions. And so, as we are winding up, I know we really needed to have like 2 hours is less. Cindy, if we about the Kenya we want, why political parties or why not political parties, will take the whole day. And so my input when it comes to political parties, I think I am but not active. The reason being, for the longest time, I really didn't have the urge or the reason why to join a political party. But later on, lately, I shared my poster. Somebody made me a poster running for women rep. And then I shared that poster on my timelines. And my poster had my party there, proudly there. And then someone told me that if you don't have this such a amount, party is not going to give you that ticket. Was I discouraged because the amount was huge? I'm just a young person who doesn't have money. You're looking for money to campaign, but again, you need to contribute in a political party. But of course, yes, political parties are like organizations. When you get into a political party, you look for a political party that aligns with whatever you want, but they have their priorities, they have interests. So if you ask me if it's ideal to be in a political party, I'd say yes, because giving my example, and I want to compare myself and let's say Kasmuel is my good friend. If today we are running for the same seat, me and Kasmuel, and then we are there, because nominations are coming, right? We are there, me and Kasmuel Makure. Who will be given the political party ticket? Acha kudidanganya. No, let's be honest. I said let us be very honest. Mimi mnajua niko kwa political party gani? Mnajua niko kwa political party gani? But Kasmul, you know ako which political party? Yes, it's about your ideology. But again, it's about how you position yourself. It's about how you position yourself in a political party. You will be in a political party and you've never did anything in that political party.
Let's have one meeting, kindly.
You've never contributed to anything. They'll not recognize you. It's the same. So if you are going to join a political party that you align with and participate in there. Go vie for those internal positions. Speak. Ikifika time ya kuongea, speak. Speak up. If you don't have money to contribute, tell them, be honest, and let them know that you don't have that much to contribute. But you have something that you're able to do or to contribute to the party. Because they always say, even these politicians, they reward people that have done something to them. And actually, that's the universe. The universe rewards what you've done. So if you are in a political party and you're not doing anything, you'll not get rewarded. Sindio, I started by saying, let's be very honest. Sawa sawa. And so my closing remarks is, again, to the young people, let's be so honest. And I'll finish with this quote that is saying, ask not what the country is supposed to do to you. Ask what you're doing to the country. Sawa sawa. Tuko pamoja na to participate. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is it making sense, or is there an importance of joining a political party? Yes. We have an aspirant that has been mentioned, supposedly been vying as an independent candidate, and is still proudly saying that he's not identified. He doesn't believe in political parties. We have been disappointed in one. We have seen disappointments not exactly directed to us, but from somebody we know or we might not know. We've read from social media or their campaign items. See, like, right? Where are decisions being made for us in Parliament? And when it comes to politics, it's all about numbers. Let's not lie. Numbers. As an independent candidate, how many numbers are you having? The decisions of this country is made by numbers of politicians from political parties. I want change. My change cannot be had individually. My change will be had collectively. When I join a political party, it doesn't mean that I am, mostly it will turn out that I am not the only person with the idea that I want to channel or to speak about or to talk about, so that it be delivered to the relevant caucuses or authorities. When we join, let me say, for example, we had a Linda Mwananchi party today. And then we had like 50 of us here join that party. And then the 50 of us are speaking of the same change. And the 50 of us are at the grassroots leadership of the party. Our change and our idea and our opinion will be heard from the region at the level, the grassroots level that we are. From there, we will push it to the next level, because even these political parties got structures. We have grassroots, regional, national. So talk about it at the ward level, it goes to the constituency level, and then it's headed to the regional level, and then to the national level. If we have numbers and we lobby for these numbers within the political party we are in, then trust me, make a change. The change will be felt either at the minority or at the majority caucuses in these institutions that govern us in this country. Again, when we join political parties, you see, even in Siaya County, most of the changes that happen at the county assembly, most of them, and I will tell you today here that the party chairperson of Siaya County is more powerful than the speaker of the county assembly. So if we can always participate, whatever we want will be channeled by our chairperson of the party chairperson, and this information will reach to our national levels, and it will be channeled through authorization. Like it will be like we are having this stand. So when they go to the parliament, they will not speak their individual voices. They will speak the voice of the party that has been channeled by the party members from the grassroots. So yes, I will advocate for us to be on the political parties. Then the last bit of it, yes, and closing remarks. Thank you. Youth for youth. I'm a youth for youth. Whatever we say. We are the future of these generations. And this is the only golden opportunity for us to respond to the of our generation. We started it in 2024, whatever the generation. We can finish it in 2027 and close it. If we decide today, with our supporters, because we are community leaders, if we speak to them today to boycott handouts, if we speak to them today to say no to handouts, if we speak to them today and they see it in our act that we are the change, we are going to make the change. My fellow leaders, let's go down there and talk reality to our parents and grandparents. That the change and the generation of the children that they gave birth to, there is a narrative that is spreading that so and so is young, so and so hasn't done something for this country or the community, so and so cannot lead when the grandfather is still in the leadership position. We can break that. Just like we can break the generational curses in our families by being the rich ones. So are we going to break the generational curses of leadership of this country? That we, the young people, we are going to finish what we started. We don't have to demonstrate on this for us to be, but we can speak from wherever we are. And lastly, this issue of that demonstrations are not yielding any fruit is a lie. Even our president of the day is a product of demonstration, right? Even our CS of finance today is a product of demonstration. But how are we demonstrating? That is why we are saying, like now, the demonstrators that lost their lives, the heroes, or were affected in one way or the other, I want to believe that they are being compensated through the political parties. I want to believe that they are being, because they will say this region was for this party, this region was for this party. So I don't know how we are going to do it, because personally I am an ODM Linda Mwananchi wing, but I don't know the party that I will join. But in that, we are going to join a political party. Just to respond to you, Linda Mwananchi is a movement of many political parties. And I mentioned I am an ODM member in Linda Mwananchi movement. Thank you.
Chairman, you can close.
Well, been said, and I want to try to be as brief as possible. Well, why political parties? One, I believe political parties are the bridge that bridges young people and state power. Through political parties, we are able to influence manifestos, policies, and the changes we need. And my parting shot, I believe that a better Kenya does not come from outrage alone, but a better Kenya comes when the energy of young people is translated into policies, integrity, accountability, and lastly, accountable governance. If we do this, then I believe we'll achieve the Kenya we want.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having us around. It has been a very interesting discussion, and it is. I am very happy to have hosted you guys. Myself, I am Onyango Dongo, and to those that are following this discussion online, you can continue with it. We will be responding and even reacting to the engagements online, that is the likes, the follows, the shares. And even if you're still in this room, you can continue with this discussion in those particular spaces. The hashtag still remains to participate, the Kenya I Want and Occupy parties. It was glad and I was happy to be your host. Thank you so much and bye-bye.
Okay. Now, if you are not going to ease yourself, then okay. Sorry. Okay. Let me just finish. If we are not going, Nini, you will just remain where we are. We are going to be served your refreshment from where you.